Like a light, lighting up in the dark. You make it right.
Thank you for tuning in to MJ and Kate on Spring Refresh. Today, episode number 14. We'll be having special guest Gabe, who joins us from Exterior Refresh, who will be talking about everything that you need to know to get your outside of the house all tidied up and ready to go for spring. Our show begins at 9 a.m. As you think about the spring refresh, maybe you're curious about how much more your home is worth today than it was last spring. I'd be more than happy to give you a full detail report. Look down in the comments for a link to schedule a report for your home evaluation. Our show today will start at 9 a.m.
Now I know why it never worked out before. Hello, it would always turn out bad, so bad. But every time we start a fight, we always stop in time. We both know how to be gentle, never cross the line.
You're thinking about spring? Have you checked on your insurance recently? Kate at the Landis Agency can give you a full checkup for all your insurance needs this spring. Look for a link down in the comments to talk with Kate. The show begins at 9 a.m. Thank you for tuning in to MJ and Kate on Spring Refresh. Today's guest, Gabe from Exterior Refresh, will be going over all the ins and outs, mostly the outs of what you have to do to get your place ready for spring. Gabe will be bringing you on in just a moment, but let's listen to the last little bit of the music before 9 a.m. and we'll join MJ and Kate live.
We are two peas in a pod. I know, it's scary sometimes, but I know, we're safe. Two peas in a pod, a roller coaster.
Good morning. It's Michael J. and with MJ and Kate. We are here, episode number 14. We're going to be talking about spring refresh, and we have a special guest on today, Gabe from Exterior Refresh, who's going to be talking to us a little bit about the spring and how you can get ready. So if you tuned in last week, we had the goof off day, and we brought on a good friend of ours, Pastor Dan, and told lots of great one-liner dad jokes. So if you missed some of that, you might want to check out last week's episode so you could do that. But with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring Gabe on from Exterior Refresh, and he's going to join us this morning. Good morning, Gabe.
Morning. How's it going?
Good. So you can see the sun. Hopefully it doesn't blind us out here coming over the corner of my shoulder there. But I'm in South Carolina at the moment. We're at a strawberry fields place that's here. And so broadcasting live from here. So hopefully it's all coming through okay.
Yeah, everything sounds good on my end. So
yeah,
excited to be here. And
yeah, well, welcome. So, Gabe, tell us a little bit about you and how you started your business, and just how you ended up kind of there. You and I met at the Rockford Chamber Network Group, and both of us being a part of the chamber there in Rockford, Michigan. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you got started in your business.
Yeah, so it goes back long time ago. I started with my first job working outside picking strawberries at the strawberry field. So it's funny that you're at the strawberry fields as well. And that was my first job. From that, I helped a neighbor doing some painting on a barn and some remodeling of a house one summer. And I was probably 14 years old. So next summer I had to get a job, and I started working at Shaner Avenue Nursery, which is a local nursery here in Rockford that sells resale and wholesale customers, and great people, and gave me an opportunity at a young age to help pull weeds and pot plants and just work around the nursery to make sure that everything was in working order for the summer. So I was where I got my landscaping knowledge and stuff from. So from then I moved on after a couple of years of doing that, and met a very cute girl in high school and started working for her father-in-law, who manages condominium associations, and I handled a lot of the exterior maintenance on the outside. As the years progressed, I started off as the deck staining and painting crew leader, and from there learned power washing, learned sprinklers, learned bush replacement, worked on the tree crew for a couple of years, and so for 10 years I gained all that experience working for him. Left, went to college, played lacrosse for 4 years, earned a business degree, and came back and continued to work for the family business for a few more years, and finally just decided that it wasn't right for me and wanted to take all my experience, my knowledge, and try to make something of what I can. So I started Exterior Refresh, working nights and weekends on the side, staining decks, believe it or not, and power washing houses, because that's what was the most familiar with me, and
Right.
maybe wasn't always the thing that I like to do the best, but it was the most familiar, and it's what got jobs and what paid the bills to get everything started. So from there, we've slowly evolved with different team members, different helpers, different seasons of need for customers. We've evolved and to what we are now as a landscaping, lawn maintenance, tree removal, irrigation, snow removal company here in Rockford, Michigan. So that's a little bit how the business got started. Little bit about me. I have a beautiful wife of 8 years. We have a almost 6-year-old, almost 4-year-old, and another child on the way. So we're a growing family, and yeah, we're just excited that Rockford is the place that we live at and the place that we both work at, and yeah, that's my story.
So we have Kate is not with us today because she just is enjoying some great time down in um, the Dominican Republic, and so
Yeah.
she doesn't have enough Wi-Fi speed to join us. But she did say hi,
Hi, Kate.
so she could catch us on the replay there. Um, so tell me a little bit about, so you did the power washing, you started doing the power washing, and then we're kind of in this headed into spring here, and so the snow removal is kind of winding down. But what's the temperature there today?
Today we is probably going to be the nicest day of the week here in lovely Rockford. We started off about 36 and we're hoping to get to 50. Dealing with a lot of rain this week, which makes tough because spring. You have to get everything done at once, and you have no control of the weather and being when you can actually work on someone's lawn versus just going and destroying someone's lawn. Um, so you don't want to make more work for yourself just because it's somewhat nice out.
Right.
So having the right days and the right weather is crucial in the springtime to be able to complete our services.
So talk a little bit about trimming trees and tree trimming, because that seems to be one of those things that people want to do in the springtime.
Yeah, springtime is, like I said, the weather's nice and people want to get outside and, start hacking away at their trees, and they got to be really cautious and know what they're doing. One, safety is a big thing. Safety when tree trimming, and anything can happen, and a homeowner with little experience thinking that they can just go out there and stand on a ladder and cut a limb is not not safe at all. Knowing the species of trees is important too, because if you have oak trees in your yard, you are at a risk if you trim your oak trees anytime past this week, really. You are in the growing season of the oak tree, and you have a chance to create and spread oak wilt. And oak wilt's a very dangerous disease, and it can spread very, very fast in an area. So knowing the species, knowing the degree of difficulty and the safety around tree trimming in the spring is really important. And a lot of homeowners, like I said, just are unaware of what type of trees are in their yard, or unaware of how dangerous tree trimming actually can be.
So next, after we look at our trees and what are we going to trim our trees, what's something that next we should look at in our yard?
Yeah. So most residential homes and have irrigation systems. And maybe you don't know because they're all underground and you don't understand what that little box in the garage is, and the little copper piece on the outside of your house is. So getting your irrigation system up and running so that you're ahead of the heat for the summer, so that your landscaping and your grass and your trees that you just trimmed can get watered correctly. Saves you from having to drag the hose around the yard all summer. So getting your irrigation system up and running and correctly is important in the spring, because you want to make sure those leaks are fixed, so you're not on running water in places or having washouts. Maybe you're on city water and your water bill is really high, so making sure having that irrigation system up and running, one, for the plants and landscaping the grass, and then two, making sure it's properly working for your water bill and lawn. So
what are some things that we should test our system? Or are we just flipping the switch on in the basement for the
yeah,
water? And
so sprinkler startup's really easy until something's wrong.
yeah.
Most of the time it's closing the valves on the outside of the house from when it was winterized in the fall, and then going in the basement and flipping the water on and running through your clock. If you don't know how to operate your clock, we'd be happy to show you and educate you, so you don't always have to call us out for a service call, maybe for just a simple time adjustment or zone adjustment. But the startup, yeah, as long as nothing's broken and you have a newer system, it could be very simple as just turning the water on and push and play. If your plow damage happened, or someone drove on your yard over the winter and broke something, a tree root could wrap around something and break a line, or maybe there was some damage in your yard or some work done in your yard. If that was done, definitely you would want to have a startup done, so that we could properly check and make sure everything was working and move or fix anything that was needed. So
Yeah, I think I have a zone that's out on mine, and I may have to replace one of the motors or something. I'm not sure
yeah, the
exactly what's
zone
going
valve,
on.
and that happens too. Debris and sand and stuff gets in the system. Believe it or not, it happens. It gets in the system, and if you have really rusty water, that can affect your system as well, or really dirty calcium buildup that can clog up those zone valves and stick those zone valves. And over time, things wear out.
Hmm.
Even stuff that's 2-3 years old can wear out because an animal got in there and was playing around in the zone valve area or something. So you see all sorts of crazy things with sprinklers and irrigation systems. So
Yeah. So
I had
now,
a few years ago, I had a customer. We had started a system up, and it was a simple, small system. And we had a rain lightning storm, and his yard got struck by lightning, and it hit one of the zone valves, and actually from the yard went through the lines back into the garage and like exploded the controller in the garage.
oh wow.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy.
The-
So yeah, anything can happen, and a lawnmower runs over a head, or just a rock or something can get wedged in the wrong place. So yep.
So what's your so now that we've kind of trimmed our trees, we talked about the trees to trim and our irrigation. What are some of the next things we should do? Do you guys do any gutter clean out or anything like that?
Yeah, we can come clean your gutters. We'd be happy to come get on a ladder or a roof and get those gutters clean. You want to make sure that the water is flowing away from your house in the April showers time. You Really important to make sure water is flowing away from your house, just for you don't want water in your basement, or you don't want washouts, and you want to make sure that everything around your house is kept dry and that water's pushed out as far as it can. So
Yeah. And then you guys do a mulch service as well?
yep. So we're a full service exterior maintenance company with mulch. So if you were to give us a call, we could help you with the tree trimming, the irrigation, the gutter cleaning, mulch, lawn mowing. It's still pretty early with as wet as it is to lay down mulch. Just for the reason, if you're putting down colored mulch, you want a good couple nice sunny days to dry that color into the mulch. If you put it down today and it rains tomorrow, that mulch is going to lose color really quickly. And one of the purpose of putting mulch down is to have that color and that curb appeal look for your home. Other purpose would be able to retain water and to hold in moisture for the plants.
Hmm.
So
And then you guys typically do it by the cubic yard, right?
yep. So if you wanted a mulch quote, we can come to your house and get you an estimate. We'd walk around, or maybe have you send us pictures. If it's just a smaller job, and we would charge you by the yard. We can do any hand weeding, or any edging that needs to be done. We can install preen for you as a weed preventer to help prevent weed growth. So typically, if you take care of your beds yearly and you put down mulch yearly, your weeds will slowly be less and less and less. If you put mulch down once and then you expect to put mulch down the next 3 or 4 years, you're gonna have, and don't do anything to your beds, you're gonna have, no productive value out of that mulch install, because your weeds are gonna grow through. And it's kind of a yearly thing that most people do, or they try to do maybe bi-yearly, is make sure that they have fresh mulch down, for weed control and for the cosmetic look of the curb appeal.
Fantastic, fantastic. So,
So
um, what else can we expect in an exterior refresh visit to our house?
yeah, because of my background and my knowledge, I have a lot of experience with a lot of services, and because we used to be a painting company, because we used to be a power washing company, because I used to work for my father-in-law and make roof repairs and siding repairs, and I used to build decks for him a long time ago. Because of my knowledge, my skills, I'm here to offer you just an honest opinion of what might need to be done to add value to your house. Um, Maybe just painting your front door would add that curb appeal and give you that value. Maybe your deck needs to replace, and we don't do those services anymore, but we can steer you in the right direction for other professionals in the area, through the chamber or through the Rockford Services page, or other local people that we network with, that will be able to take care of you and make sure that your home increases value.
Fantastic. So let's just review some of the services that you said that you have.
Yep,
So you said that you have full tree cutting and removal services,
correct.
and you have the landscaping as far as the mulch goes, the
Yep,
irrigation.
landscaping, and replanting, really, really giant installs and really fancy stuff. We're not really equipped or employed to do stuff like that. but we like the very couple day jobs, uh, and the mulch installs is what we like too. So
Okay. And so it's exciting to see that you've done. I've used Gabe at my house personally, and he came around and helped me identify what bushes that I had because we had bought a residence that somebody had previously planted all the stuff. So he helped to educate me on what I had in my yard and how to trim it. And he went ahead and installed all the mulch for us. And so I highly recommend Gabe at Exterior Refresh for anything that you have that you need done outside. So, any parting words before we wrap up our episode here?
yeah, I mean, if you're looking to gain value to your home and looking to be proud of your home, just putting a little bit of effort, a little bit of time, a little bit of money maybe into it, such as mulch, such as making sure your irrigation system's working correctly so your grass is green or your trees are trimmed um, so they're not overcrowding your house or your driveway or something. It's just really important to have that stuff and make sure that that's done to add the value to your house, whether you're planning on living there for a long time or reselling with Michael here. So um, thank you for your time, and thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for all this. This was awesome. So
Yeah, we
appreciate it.
appreciate you joining us. So that is anything we can do to help out. So Kate will be back with us next week, and we got a whole bunch of shows lined up that we haven't announced yet. So
All right.
but we'll definitely be having those. So Gabe, thanks for joining us, and
Yeah.
we'll see everybody again next week.
All right. Have a great day.